Greetings, y'all. How are you doing today? How are you doing? How are you doing? How are you doing? How are you holding up in the holiday season? What is it giving? What's your life giving right now? How are you? Woo! Woo! The energy is intense, honey. Okay? The energy is intense. A couple of songs I've been hearing, I'll give you those first. You bring out the worst in me. You bring out the worst in me. Okay, Trinata and Tinashe. At least I feel something. I want your... So there's that. And then Not an Angel by Tim's came through. I'm not an angel. I'm just a girl that knows the truth. Cheers to Tim's. Cheers to Tim's, to that whole song is so beautiful. Cheers to Tim's for that. I'm not an angel. I'm just a girl who knows the truth. Like, I know the truth. And sometimes the reality is you can't always be sweet and loving and an angel when you know the truth. Because sometimes the truth can mean you're under attack. The truth can mean you're in danger. What are you going to do about it? So I had a dream last night, and this is why I need to come and deliver this, is that someone... In the dream, it was like I was in the car, it was nighttime, and I was really, really scared for my fucking life. And it felt honestly like I was waiting for something or waiting for somebody to show up, and they never showed up. But my hand was shaking, and I'm trying to like get in the like get the key in the ignition. Like I'm trying to leave. It's really dark. I kind of knew my surroundings though, but then it was like everything around me, I was just really scared. And then there was a feeling of betrayal. And then I went further or taking it further, it's like some banging on the door or banging on the window in some kind of way. And then I woke up. And so it was just that little clip. So it's like familiar surroundings, but being afraid in those surroundings. And really the energy of like someone is out to get me energy. Somebody is out to get me. Then I picked up, then when I woke up, and this is what got me. And so it's almost like there's two people, someone is hiding behind the other, there's two. And then it's like there's two people who look very similar or are possibly family. Let me show you this Ten of Pentacles card. And it's scary. I woke up and had to turn the light on, and I had to like I just had to like hold myself for a second because it really scared me. So I'm feeling like somebody maybe went through something like this, or there's men out here that like to trick empresses, trick good women. So that whole thing of like, I'm not an angel, I'm just a girl that knows the truth about somebody's, ridiculous scheming ways. But I'm picking up this energy of like, there are two men that look very similar or are possibly family. Do you see how it's like, here's what oh, sorry, there's a little food smeared on it. Deal with it. Okay, so The King of Pentacles, this is giving King of Pentacles dad energy, older man energy, and then this is like his two dogs. But to me, that gave like two young sons, two nephews, something like that, and they both look the same. It's like they're identical dogs, right? To the point where it's like, I just got sidetracked. There's a download. I guess I should share this because Spirit has been telling me it's not the best idea to like have your cards just out all willy-nilly. So, you know, I think sometimes you take a beating for that, but it's like, that's, you know, there was a little bit of food on the cards. It's kind of like I think there needs to be more respect for your cards. So, hey, I'm still learning and growing every day, so I can be transparent about that, but I was getting that download of like, you have a space where you use your cards. It's not the best idea to like be eating and using your cards at the same time because the energy kind of gets mixed up. So, also not having cards, something about not having cards near the bed, right? Like something about leaving cards out, not in their boxes, but then also like having them out on the bed or like pulling energy in the bed because that's your resting space. But, you know, I know so many readers that like to, you know, pull a card in the bed, pull a card in the morning. So I don't know, but I feel like there's something about at least making sure you're clearing that energy out. So back to what I was saying, 10 of Pentacles. So two identical men like trying to trick women, and it almost feels like it's like one plays the good energy while the other plays bad energy. And it's like they're causing there's just, it's weird. It's weird. It's really, really weird. It's really weird, and it really scared me. It's frightened me because it just kind of felt like these men are fucking crazy. And they're out here like using each other. And then I wish I could show you. It was just like this. It was like one behind the other. And then I remember also one time I was resting and just kind of chilling like this and like have my head down like this and was just kind of thinking about all of the things that I've been, you know, realizing and downloading lately and how weird they've been. And then it's like, as I got that weird download, then it's like something came from the side, child. It was like something came from the side that was even crazier than what I had already received and download, like even more shocking. And I'm like, oh my God. And then I had to just like open my eyes. And so I heard blessings rain down upon you. So if you went through some craziness like that, two men or like one man pretending to be one thing and then there ends up being two and they're like very identical and they're working together. And then I just feel like I felt your fear or I felt your shock or your surprise. And then Spirit was like, when I woke up, I was like, oh my God. And Spirit was like, you heard her. So it's like someone is needing me to understand something. Yeah. 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 So, yeah. Yeah. Something also about Ed. So I keep Ed, and it kind of makes me either Ed, and Eddie is what keeps coming through of just like the weirdest men in the fucking, like the weirdest boys ever, right? Ed, and Eddie, Ed. So that's what I'm saying. It's like there's an older man, a King of Pentacles energy, and then like two identical. It just really creeped me out. So, what else does this person need to know? I'm gonna. And so then. There's kind of some star seed energy coming through that I also wanted to share because I got a download. So this is a weird one. This is weird. This was a weird one, but it was like when I got that identical energy, something about, you know how they said at one time, like, or I thought I heard this somewhere, everybody has one identical person like on this earth that looks just like you somewhere. And then like something about a star seed having also like an alien or somebody watching over you that is identical to you. And like sometimes when we call it the higher self, right? And this shocked me and had me ready to run on down somewhere. But it was like your higher self is actually like a full-blown star seed, honey, right at 222. Your higher self is actually like a full-blown star seed that's controlling you here on this earth and watching over you. So your higher self is like literally a whole star seed that lives like in a whole nother being that's watching over you and like controlling you and talking to you or something like that. And then get into this. Sometimes if you ever have somebody just really like working, you feel this feeling of like somebody's working against me. Like anytime I'm doing anything that makes me feel happy and fucking good, there is this negative energy that comes in and tries to destroy it, right? Like tries to talk shit about it or make you feel like you can't do it, right? That opposition. And that the opposition is like the opposite sex version of you. Because it's like, you know, this whole, it's like that thing of male gaze, female gaze, right? The choices that we make based off of like what the opposite sex will think about it. But that there is a connection to like your shadow is like that opposite sex, right? And there's an example of that actually that I remember seeing in Random Acts of Flyness on HBO, where it's like he's out dancing in nature, and there's this woman that comes by, like it's all nature, he's all by himself and he's just like freely moving and dancing. And for anybody who does that, I bet you know the feeling of feeling like there's an eye on you when you're creating in some kind of way that is like, that ain't shit. You know, like everything you're doing, you know that's shit, right? And usually it's like, it can be the masculine. If you're a feminine, it's like, it's the masculine energy. You know, you don't look good when you do that. You know, your hair looks shit when you wear it like that. Nobody's gonna want you like that. And so in Random Acts of Flyness, it was like, it was a woman and she was kind of carrying that like bad bitch energy, and she had like a suit on, like a little tight suit, and she's like dissing him the whole time while he's trying to like find his freedom and his flow, right? And so something about that, something about kind of being at odds with your shadow, with that part of you that's telling you like, no bitch, you know, like you ain't shit, you're not a creator, you're not good at what you do, you're not hot, you're not fly, you're not this, you're not that, nobody wants you. And I think he ended up having to either like, I'm trying to remember how he got rid of her, something he did, right? And then it's like she just kind of disappeared in the suit, like disintegrated in a way, or like she fell out of the suit and then it was just a suit laying there. I might be wrong, I haven't watched it in a while. But something about that kind of energy, working against that, and how it can really be a fight. It can honestly be a fight working with that shadow energy. So it's like your shadow may very well be like the opposite sex. And I feel like maybe that's even why it's our shadow that tells us we'll never find anyone who's gonna love us. It's our shadow that tells us, because love, whether anybody wants to fucking admit it or not, love is a big reason why folks keep living every day. And people want the feeling of love, the feeling of feeling loved is something that folks reach out for every fucking day and then try to fill it in so many different ways. Food, quesadilla, okay? Weed, money, clothes, cars, okay? All of that. We reach for something that's going to make us feel held the way love is supposed to make us feel held. And the reality is, you know, there's a lot of things, I feel like there's a lot of things about love that's still uncovered and still confused and like misinterpreted anyways. But it's like our shadow checks us and makes us, tries to check us to get in line so that we're ready for love, essentially. That's what I feel. Like, it's like, you know, your shadow telling you, you better get that hair right, honey, because no one's going to be fucking with you like that, right? And so this is when you're fighting with your shadow, right? Like, let's say, for me, like, my natural hair and, like, the whole thing of natural hair and how natural hair is seen in the world, and, like, my shadow, if I don't control it, will tell me, like, if you don't straighten your hair, like, you're never gonna get a man. So good luck with that. And so I have to then like remind myself, unprogram myself, and like, you know, make a decision based off of my higher self, which could very well be a fucking whole ass person. Get into that, like a whole ass being that literally has control over the body, like crazy. Sip, right? So yeah, now, and that's why I was saying starseed. Let's get into the letters of a starseed. be a Scorpio rising. So Spirit just gave me 11. Or something about rising sign or Scorpio energy. Let me just read this. What is this one about, first of all? So what is a starseed? Starseeds know that they're part of something bigger than them and that everything is interconnected. They've woken up to the fact that we're not the center of the universe, that life exists beyond our limited idea of it, and that we're connected to all of life, both on this planet and in the entire universe. The more we embrace our uniqueness and courageously show the world who we are, the easier it is for our people to find us and for us to create a life that feels as if it's in alignment with who we are from a soul perspective. I know it's like for starseeds also this feeling of yearning. This book is called Letters to a Starseed by Rebecca Campbell. She also has that Starseed Oracle deck. And she talks, I feel like in this book, about yearning for, real connection or feeling like, I feel like even not wanting to have to fight that shadow part of you, that part of you that's like wanting to be free from that. And even sometimes that shadow, you'll project that shadow onto other people, right? Like that's when we say, oh, you're projecting a part of your shadow and then you're giving somebody else the name of it. And it, sometimes it can literally be that also that person is out to make you feel like shit. But it doesn't help that your shadow is like happy to help you see them make you feel like shit. Does that make sense? Like, it's like your shadow is like, yeah, you heard what they fucking said. That's why they're who they are and why you'll never be nothing at all. Listen to them, right? And it's like, no, don't listen to them. The more we hide ourselves, the more alone and not at home we'll feel, both in ourselves and in the world. With Scorpio as my rising sign, rider. Something about a rider. Nobody wants to be your fucking rider. Okay. With Scorpio as my rising sign, I've always felt comfortable in the depths and willing to dive deep into the shadows in order to alchemize. So deep into the shadows, I think the whole mixing of like food and cards, there's a little bit of like, I don't know, just be prepared for what the realities that come with that are kind of like weird energies that come with that, I guess. But anyways, in order to alchemize, looking back now, I see that I used to live in a way where the spiritual life and the human life existed simultaneously, but still somehow felt separate. I see now how this separation has caused so many problems in the world and stops true healing or unity from happening. I believe that we're now beginning to address the severing and that there's an ancient call for true integration to happen. This time in which we're living is urging us to stay present to all that's happening, to hold the opposite poles of the human experience in order to bring about lasting unity and to genuinely weave the soul, the cosmic, the sacred, and the divine into the earth, into matter, and into our physical, everyday human lives. So being one with the source of spirit in order to be able to understand the polarities. It's almost, it even makes me think of like angel and devil, like when they have the whole angel and devil on the shoulder. It's kind of like being very comfortable with having somebody in the room, whether that be literally or just within yourself, that is not going to like anything you do. Anything you do, any way you do it, and they literally just, it's like, they're just there essentially to be in the way. Like there's always going to be that opposition that's just there for that, you know, as shitty as it is. And if you're able to do this, if you're able to dig deep into that reality, and it might even be helpful, it's like, go ahead and just call all these motherfuckers that are hating for no reason a part of your shadow. Group them right in with it. It might help. Because it's like when you're able to connect to that and accept that, you'll feel more comfortable on earth. Like you'll feel more comfortable being able to look. And then I just heard it, you know what I just heard in my head? My own shadow, this own negative. This bitch is so dark. She is such a dark, rotten bitch. That's literally what I just heard in my head. That's literally what I just heard. Like, that's literally what the negative voice in my head just told me. You're such a dirty bitch. Because I saw this fucking quesadilla that I wanted to take a bite out of. You are such a... Like, that's literally what I heard. This bitch is so rotten and dirty and gross. Mm-hmm. Okay. That's what I heard. That's what I heard. Just because I want to take a bite out of the quesadilla. Right in the middle of the cards. See what I mean? Okay. Everybody has a role to play. Why did your soul choose to come at this time? Why did your soul choose to come at this time? To be in the world at this time? This is good. Get this. Get this. What does that mean? What do they do when they do like that? With the book. Not with the book, but with the like makeup. Okay. And now I'm going to pull a couple of things from the Wisdom Oracle. Yes. Okay, see, but then, so here's what I was saying. Because as we're dealing with shadows, there's also some crazy ass men out here. And that's what I was saying in the first place about this whole thing of like these two like identical creepy men that are like using each other. Like it literally would be like what it was giving. What it was giving. See, but just when I said that, then I was looking at some words and kind of got a download about E.T., right? E.T. So, showing me downloads. And I also just got a download about somebody not wanting you to masturbate because if you have an orgasm, it helps your kundalini grow so that you can get more information. I mean, for heaven's sakes, right? Like, for heaven's fucking sakes, honestly. So it could be that, I don't know, maybe that's what you need some of because... so that you can keep on getting your downloads and stuff. Look, deep knowing, time for a nap in reverse. And then community. And so it could be like literally your shadow brings out the worst of you too, you know? Because I know it's like I get in a whole like fight every day with my shadow. Like I literally am like arguing with my shadow every day and like cursing my shadow out every day. It's been rough, you know, it's been rough, I can't lie. And then it doesn't help when there's also like tricky ass people around me that I'm trying to like deal with or like break through or break up way or, you know, just deal with chaos and conflict, literal conflict. But it's like I'm arguing every day, looking like a crazy person. Okay? And this could be so that you don't feel bad or you don't feel like you're alone if you're doing this too. I'm arguing in the fucking car with myself. I'm arguing in the store with myself under my breath. I'm arguing when I'm at home, I'm loud about it. I'm cursing. I have certain people in mind I'm cursing out when the reality might be it's just my shadow, but there's a face of somebody I know and don't like, and I'm fucking cursing them out every day for like the last year, every single day. And it hasn't been easy, but it's been a part of my process of trying to heal. Every day, every day, every day, every day. And it's also this thing of kind of trying to like solidify self despite like how other people are moving crazy around you, right? Because there are other things that I can also say. Like there are other things that I can tell you about, you know, things I'm really dealing with real people. That's like could definitely make me lose my mind. And it's like, I don't want, look, I had to take another way. I don't think that matters. I think it just doesn't matter. So let me move forward. Just give me a second. Sorry. Sorry. So it could be very well also that you're in a place in your spiritual growth where now integrating your shadow gets harder because it's like you've done a lot of work already. And so it's like now it's even crazier. You know, like it's like it doesn't get easier. I think that's the thing. It's like dealing with earthly things actually does get easier, but only because it gets harder to deal with your spiritual self. So it's like, and I feel like that can also be a trip up. You know what I mean? It can trip you up of like, you're still afraid of, you know, just making sure you have money and making sure you have this and you have that. And it's like, you may be more covered in that area than you think. And spirit may have your back in a way, oh God, that you don't understand. But then spiritually, it's like now you're fighting a whole nother kind of demons, like different demons, spiritual demons that can slow you down still in a whole different way. So also something about facilities not existing, something may not exist anymore. And so something is like only compostable, or something may not exist. something may not exist anymore. Something that you use often, something that like a skincare product or some kind of product that you use often may not exist. Spirit said, don't ask why, or you know why. And so then they're also in that song, she's like, every time you fall asleep. Something, I finally, something, peace of mind. And so I was getting that, it's like somebody, I don't know, whoever has been trying to mess with you feels peace when you're asleep. And you may feel the same. And I feel like I know that feeling of kind of like having to be around somebody or live with somebody. And it's like, fuck, I hope they're fucking asleep so I can just be, you know, for whatever reason or for in however many sick ways. Some people like to do magic on others when they're asleep as well. So, you know. Something of TikTok. It like something is like time sensitive and it's not time for a nap. Soulmates. No higher power. Treasure Island in reverse. Soulmates. This ain't how it's supposed to be. Just observe something. Just observe something. Do your best to just observe something. You not being at peace in a situation is not fair. It's not fair. And it's okay for you to admit that. But this higher power in reverse, these karmic ass energies, who just know with no flexibility, only flexibility in their fucking bodies. I don't know why I've been hearing it's or I don't know, but I know you remember that shit. It's or So I don't know, but that's literally what I got. It's or like that lady doing the hip hop thing. Real hip hop. What hip hop is, it's or So I don't know, honey. Maybe there's the karmic energies, but the way that was coming through really had me tickled. It's or and that's just funny in general. I recommend looking it up. Have you seen, there's also this really funny meme of like a lady in the library, and it always makes me think of a Libra, because like Libras are the ones that tend to collect a lot of information and just like to know things and like keep things, you know shit. Like we know shit. And like I have a strong Libra in me, but I'm not a Libra sun sign. But it's like, we just really know things. And so it's like she's like slinking through the library and like telling the students, like, you know, showing them books, like just coming out of the corners, like, you might want to do this, try this. And then she like disappears, and then it's her like grooving across the fucking library, and then she's like, be careful on your trips to Kirks and Caicos. Like, you know, don't get pregnant, or like don't go out on any balconies. And then it's like she disappears again. And I don't know, I feel like maybe some of these folks feel like that about readings if they don't understand like the spiritual aspect that well. They're like, why are you all up in my business? I really feel that. And so it's like someone feels invaded by readings. Yeah. Yeah. Hmm. And you know something I also just thought about with that lady who was doing that? It's or I'm always putting myself in other people's shoes of how they must have felt at the moment, but like she must have really felt like shit. I don't know, I just can't imagine like everybody, you know, when somebody goes, I think that's what Spirit wants me to say. It's like sometimes when you see stupid ass internet beef, these folks don't know what they're fucking talking about, especially when it's big celebrities and it's like, oh, a big argument between so and so and so and so. These folks don't know, like, they don't always know why they're mad at each other, or it's like taking little clips of information and then trying to make it seem like there's an argument going on. There's not really an argument going on. And then it ends up on Shade Room or some sort of place, and it's like, oh, they're not at good odds right now, or like look, and it's like, do they even fucking know? That's what I'm saying. Like when we're getting information from places, and it's like we're not in these people's lives. What are we doing? Because it's like, what information are you really giving me? And like, is this important information even? You know what I mean? That's just what I'm feel like. It's like, is this important or what? Look, blessed. Is this important or what? You know, like I want to stay blessed with important information. Important information. I need important, like, valuable information. I don't need to know, like, that so-and-so is arguing all the way across California, across the United States. I don't need to know that. I don't need to know that. I don't really need to know that. And, like, what does that information do for me, right? But that's what I was feeling. Of kind of like, what does this do, you know? What does this new by the book? By the book. So this is, look, Libra, I recommend it. Like, I don't know. Let me be your Libra librarian today. I recommend it. So, I don't know. Take what you need today. It's fun, and then she's all like down, and it's just funny. I wish I could. You may know, you may not know. I always say I'll put it in the description, and I don't. So, because I'm having trouble with my internet anyway. It's just like the internet. Yeah, so, but it's like, why are these karmics unable to be flexible? That's what I want to know. Why can you not be flexible? Why? It could be honestly your shadow. Also, I was getting this. Look, your shadow cannot afford to be flexible, because if it was flexible, you wouldn't be grounded in the earth. You wouldn't be here. You wouldn't be able to be here. You wouldn't have any limitations. You wouldn't have anything if your shadow wasn't always digging into you. It's like, that's your checks and balances system of like having Capricorn, right? Like having Saturn energy to be like, no. Because otherwise it's like, what would ground you? What would stop you? What would hold you here on earth, literally? Because Capricorn also rules, is it gravity? What, because it's gravity. Oh, it's like, I'm pretty sure. I'm like trying to see. I don't have my book with me right now that has that information, but I'm almost positive that it's true. That like what literally holds us on this earth is ruled by Capricorn energy. Keeps us from not just floating up, which is gravity. So I'm pretty sure. And so it can be hard, because it's like, even sometimes I feel like when good things are getting ready to happen is when you just know shit's getting ready to go so fucking terribly. And I feel like that's when the observation comes in. It's like, you really can't, you can be tricked. You can be tricked. And I also picked up something about readers, or like deep, psychic, spiritualists, star seeds. That big community of people. What was I gonna say? I think I lost it. Just that star seeds, like, I'm sorry, I just feel so grimy today. It's just that kind of day. Like, seriously, but I see it and I blinked. I totally blinked. Well, let's just finish it up. The karmics are not flexible. I just wanted to see what was going on with that real quick. Thank you. Capricorn, literally look, this is Capricorn energy, the devil right here. That's rune, Thurzaz. So it's like these energies and chaos and all that, it's like the closer you get to your destiny, the more Saturn is on that ass. Evil and chaos and forces of evil and chaos and temptation and people in power, or just thorns, the thorns of a rose. I literally pricked my hand yesterday on the thorn of when I was like, trimming some roses, and it like, and so it's like, these are things, this is just the reality of getting more spiritual. And so if you're kind of fretting, like having just this feeling like every day it's something, every day there's an issue, every day, it's like, it could be good news. It could be honestly good news. It could just be like, it could be a lot of different things, it just could be a lot of different things that come into play. Okay, but look at this. No, so now we're talking about just straight evil. So not like the reality of gravity and being held down, but now we're talking about just negative ass energies, karmic ass energies. It's like something about an evil no, or like something about no. happens, it's like you'll never feel free from it. There's something that you won't feel free from. So, which kind of like gravity itself, raw power, spiritual strength. It's not evil. But that to develop spiritually, there will be opposition. There we go. There we go. There we go. At least I feel something. Somebody's lying. They're still lying. Somebody's still lying. Still fucking lying. Still lying. See what I'm saying? Yeah. All right. Somebody's lying. Do you see this too? This is giving this too if I was saying in the beginning of like Papa Bear and the two sons. I don't know. I think that's it. I think that's all I have for you today. I think that's all I have for you. I'm going to clear the energy out with you here. You know what I just heard this time? You're not wise. You're not wise. That's what my shadow just said to me. You're not wise. You're not wise. Don't feel good about ending that reading. You're not wise. You're not fucking lying. You're not really doing it. You're not smart. You didn't give a reading that people can utilize. You're not wise. You're not really talking about anything. Like, let's see, and look, and then you have to sage it out. But I have to sneeze. You bring out the worst in me. You bring out the worst in me. Hey. Hey. Here's a little side note. I got it downloaded. It's like, if you watch a lot of readers, usually we don't show our body. You notice that? Or it's like, if we do this for a quick second, I feel like there's a reason for that, like a spiritual balancing, a spiritual safety, where it's like we're not really showing our bodies here on YouTube, like, not, but just that we just don't. Like, I notice most of the readers I watch is either it's just this right here, we're not giving you any more than this. If we do, it's because we stood up, or we just want you to see a little something real quick to let it be known, and then we're gonna sit back down. I noticed that, and I feel like there is definitely spiritual reasons for that, because you see that, right? Like, you ever just talk too fast for yourself? It's like, I can't catch my own thoughts. But I feel like that whole thing of modesty, it's like, it also protects you spiritually from negative energies, you know? To cover your body, to cover your head. At least I feel something. Kind of like also using your using music as like using negative energy as a way to feel something too. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Does that make sense? That might make sense to somebody. Of just like, I'm getting no, not a rise, but just like, I feel something. You know what I mean? When I'm at least dealing with this opposition, like, it wakes up the fighter in me, whether I like it or not. Is it cheese that might not exist? Something about something not existing anymore. It might be cheese. It might be the kind of foods that you like. Compostable only facilities may not exist. I've been seeing that a lot. Compostable only facilities might not exist. And so I'm also feeling like something has to go down the drain because something is missing. Something doesn't exist. Weird, but something does not exist, so it can only be reused. something about reusing it or composting it or letting it disintegrate because it doesn't exist anymore. So that might be good news for somebody, bad news for somebody else. But hopefully good news for whoever this reading is for. So that's it. All right. You take care of yourself. Have a happy holiday. Doing another tarot card, like informational about a tarot card coming soon. Not gonna say what card it is. But yeah, so more power to you. Take care of yourself. And until next time, all right?